Go to your local thrift shop and find some teacups. Scoop 8 cups of plaster of Paris into a container. You will need 4 cups of cool water to mix with your plaster. You can also use Quikrete for this craft as an alternative. Pour the water into your container. You can see as I mix that a fine powder gets into the air. That is why I am definitely doing this outside. If I did this craft inside, there would be such a huge mess to go and clean up. After it is fully mixed, go and fill sandwich bags halfway. To get out air, press the bag down and allow a small amount of plaster to come out before you zip it. Place a mug into the center. If you notice that your mug moves around and really isn't indenting into the bag, you need to go and weigh it down. Use some rocks to do so. Continue to place your cups, and as you place them and center them, go and fill them with rocks to weigh it down. Again, I'm also doing this outside because this plaster is so messy and so would Quikrete be. Plaster sets pretty fast, so does Quikrete, so about 2 hours later, these were fully set. Once they are set, remove the plastic bag. We are not saving the bags, so you can tear them off, but do make sure to recycle them. Brush off any extra plaster as you remove them. If you have holes, and you probably will, fill them with more plaster. Make sure to wear gloves when you fill these holes. To smooth the plaster out, use a small amount of water. Let these fully dry. It will take a few days. Now we are going to spray paint our plaster and also some of the mugs. This mug I am leaving black, but painting the pillow black. This pillow I am painting gold, and also the same with the mug. Make sure to get the back as well. After the spray paint is fully dry and not tacky, you can go and use these mugs and pillows as decorations outside. Keep in mind, Quikrete will hold up better outside. You can also use these as bird feeders as long as the mug isn't spray painted. The pillow can be, though. You can also use these as decorations inside or as a coaster, and you can also drink out of the cups as long as they are unpainted.
I went ahead and picked this up from the dollar store. What we're gonna do is take the 2-part epoxy and we're gonna mix it together. Always pour in the A part first, that's the thicker part, and then go ahead and pour your B in. The great thing about it is you don't have a fast setup time with this type of epoxy. So it gives you some time to mix it together. So I start mixing it, making sure you get it really thorough. And then what I will do is go ahead and mix a little bit of the brown acrylic paint with it. Just a few drops at a time. Once you think you got it mixed just right and it's got a good color to it, we're gonna let this set aside for about 45 minutes. It's too thin right now to apply it to our cups. I'll show you the thickness that we're gonna look for, and then we'll start our project. So this right here is what you're looking at. See how much thicker it is? So what we're gonna do is a little bit at a time. Go ahead and wrap up the strings like that. You're gonna put just a little bit of epoxy against the rim. Just a little bit. See how I do that? I wanna cover everything right there. You can go ahead and hold the cup towards you in the beginning and just keep spreading like this. It's got that coffee look to it. So I'm just gonna keep going around the rim. Now, if you're working with someone, you can do more. We have more than enough epoxy right here. So you can do more than one mug at a time, but the epoxy's wanting to set up on you. So it's always good to do this with a friend or a partner. So keep working around the rim. So these are great for hot chocolate mugs, coffee mugs, and you can even make ice cream bowls with them. And I'm gonna show you at the end how good an ice cream bowl is gonna look. So this is the look we're looking for. Look at that. It's random drips, and gravity is your friend on this. These are gonna be great gifts. You can give these to your kids' teachers, world's favorite boss. Now look at that. That is exactly the look we are going for. Now, gravity is your friend, but it can also be your foe. So you've got to watch and make sure that it doesn't drip too far. If it does, just hold it up like this, and that will stop it from flowing this way, and it will want to start to flow back down again. It might bunch up at the bottom, but don't worry. you just turn it over again. So this is a project where you got to stay consistent and watch it as you work. You can also use a cup, place it on there like this, work on your next cup, but always check so you can turn it back over again. What we're going to do is let these set for 24 hours. So that's it for our mugs. And here is the final product. I went ahead and used a magic marker to go ahead and draw some happy faces on the mugs. And then here's a surprise. Look at that ice cream bowl. Instead of mixing brown, I mixed pink and added some sprinkles. What a wonderful treat for your family.
This is a completely dollar store DIY, by the way, you guys. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and clean the coffee mugs with some isopropyl alcohol. It actually doesn't really matter what percentage. Next, so I'm just going to explain my setup here real quick. I have a plastic bin, and this is actually the grocery bag or whatever from the Dollar Tree. So I just use that. I put some room temperature water, and I got a bunch of these fun nail polishes from the dollar store. So all we're going to be doing here is dripping, and then you can use some toothpicks. Some of them will really spread out. Some of them will stay more in drops. All of the nail polishes will react a little bit differently. You kind of never know what's going to happen until you put it on the water. Now you can, of course, totally leave it like this. You can dip your piece just like this. But I'm actually going to take a toothpick and kind of pull it through the design here just to add a little bit of interest. Be careful when you do this. You're not trying to pull the paint off of the water. You're just trying to move it. I like that. Let's go ahead and we'll start with this white one. I'm going to go ahead and dip it at an angle. So I don't want it to get all the way up to the top because we don't want to be drinking nail polish. But I do want to cover a little bit of the handle. So I'm going to dip it. Actually, I think I'm going to dip it. I'm going to dip it like this. Let's see if we can get this on the first try. Awesome. So it's this like marbled effect. I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side. I'm going to use the same colors for the black one. So instead of wiping this all off, which is what you would normally do in between layers, I'm going to just add to it. And then carefully go ahead and dip it, just like that other one. And feel free to use old nail polish that you have lying around the house. Boom. There we go. All right, and cleanup is really easy. This is the good thing about using this bag. So even though we're not going to reuse this, but feel free to dip anything else you want, go ahead and just take a stick or even your glove, because I'm not going to be keeping these gloves. So even a glove, and you can just literally wipe off all of that paint, drain the water, throw the bag away, and then you can reuse the bin. Now the next step is to just go ahead and let these dry fully. Now if you get anything where it drips or you're not totally happy, like I got a little gold drip here, nail polish remover will take that right off. And in terms of sealing these, you don't really need to seal them. If you've ever gotten nail polish on anything, you know that it does not come off easily. So these actually will be really durable. If you wanted to seal it, you can tape off the top and use a spray sealer. You could use dishwasher safe Mod Podge. You could use resin. You can use all kinds of things, but without a sealer even, it will be really durable. If you wanted to keep it completely dollar store project, you could even use some clear nail polish from the dollar store. So let's go ahead, we'll let these dry, and then we'll come back and see how they look. All right, here are our coffee mugs dry. I think they came out gorgeous. I love the sheen that that gold gives. And I definitely think I like the pattern on this one better. There's a lot of really fun things about that. So use any colors you want, and you can do this technique on so many things. You can do it on tumblers, vases, wine glasses, you name it. It's really fun and easy.